thank you so much for being here. And to the guys that are joining us online, thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is me welcoming everybody to the first edition of the Stacked event, right? And I'm so excited. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I've been like super worried. But here we are today, and I'm just really, really grateful that you guys are here physically, and then to everyone that is joining online. So for the sake of those that are in here, I just want to tell us that we've got fire exits. So you've got one, well, two on my left-hand side, which will be your right-hand side. And then we've got another one on the right-hand side through that door. You're going to see the fire exit. So in case of any fire, there will be no fire by God's grace. So, but you just have to do that so everybody's aware. So, yeah, well, we've got almost everyone here. Still waiting for like one of our speakers to join us. He'll be here shortly. So again, thank you so much for coming. I just want to give a quick intro on why I started this. I think it was this year. There's been so much news about tech layoffs. Amazon, the Google, they're just laying off people. And I think I was at work that day, and I just thought about it, and I said, if the big guys, the top guys, are being laid off, these guys build the tools, they build this machinery and everything you're using. If they're being laid off en masse, what happens to the common man? I'm probably like at the base of the ladder. So what's the security I have? I'm not sure I'm secured in any way. And I just got thinking like, so what happens to every other person? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people were thinking that way. And so I thought, okay, how about we have conversations with a regular person in tech? Not necessarily the CEO. You see a lot of podcasts on there talking to the CEOs and the CTOs. What about the regular guys, right? The developer, the product guy, the guy that's writing your technical copy, and the likes. Let's hear what they are doing to stay relevant, to stay in the game, right? So that's why I started Stacked. It's real conversations, real people in the tech space, right? So we're trying to give a seat at the table to the regular guy in the tech industry. That's how I started this. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for believing in this. You're here because you believe in what I have. So thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in this. All right. So now we'll just be talking about navigating and maximizing artificial intelligence in your tech journey. I don't know if the slide is up. Please, can you help me put up the opening speech slide? Yeah. Let's see, that should come up now. Sorry, we're having a bit of technical glitch. For the guys that are joining online, we have a bit of a technical glitch with our projector. So is the opening speech slide? Yes, thank you very much. So we'll be talking about navigating and maximizing artificial intelligence in your tech journey. All right. It's obvious that we are in an extraordinary time, right? AI is, everywhere. It's every day you see it at work, right? It's shaping conversations in the boardrooms. It's shaping conversations about innovation, and it's even helping some of us to draft our emails. I don't know. I'm guilty. Trust me. I use AI to draft my emails. It's so bad that I actually have a conversation with someone and I didn't know what to write. Like I wanted to sound like I need to sound a bit more stuff. And I went to ChatGPT and said, "This person said this. How should I respond?" And that's what I did. So that's how crazy it is for us, right? We're using it to draft emails and to have conversations, right? So that's the world we're currently in. Now, some people are thrilled about it. Someone like me, like, this is good, right? Because it offers us endless possibilities, right? Others are a bit uneasy, they're wondering, is it going to take their jobs? I think a lot of us, we've watched Terminator, the machine's taking over, and everybody's just like really, really worried. Is it going to change my job path? Is it going to make my skills, irrelevant? And there's a big group somewhere in there that are just trying to make sense of everything. They're neither here nor there. They just don't understand what's happening, right? So if you've ever, at any point in time, caught yourself asking, where do I fit in the AI-driven world, or how can I make sure that I'm not left behind, then you are in the right place. This is why we are having this, right? Now, we'll not be exploring why AI, what's happening, where do I fit in, Now, I'm going to start with something simple. Every major wave in technology has been shaped by something. Something has always shaped whatever we have in technology right now. the way we live, the way we work, the way we think about value, those things, technology, that wave in technology has always shaped it. Now, let's think back for a moment. When the internet came along, um, it changed how we connected. It changed how we do business and so on. It changed how information flowed. Now, suddenly, the world became a small place. Distance was no longer a problem, right? Distance didn't matter anymore. Then we had the rise of mobile phones, right? It wasn't just about new gadgets. It's about convenience. Okay, so I didn't have to post a letter that would take days. All I had to do was dial the number on my phone, and I'll be speaking to the guy at the other end of the world, right? So it made access immediate, and it also put power in our pocket. And now we are standing in the middle of another wave in AI, and that's the AI wave. Now, but this is a little bit different. It's not just about changing what we can do. It's actually changing how we think about intelligence itself. So not only human intelligence, but what machines can actually contribute to alongside us, right? And I think that's the key word there, alongside. Many people would say replace, but it's not really replacing. It is you working in tandem. So it's working alongside us, right? Now, because too often everybody is talking about AI is replacing humans, taking their jobs and all of that. But if you look back, history has always told us a different story, right? Every major technological leap from electricity to the internet, it didn't just wipe out roles. Yes, it created new ones, probably modified the existing ones, right? But it didn't necessarily just wipe out roles just like that. So this means that for every time there's a wave of technology, there's going to be creation of new opportunities. That is the perspective we need to look at. Like when something new comes up, there will be new pathways, new careers, there'll be some modifications here and there. So the people who have thrived in this wave of technology per time are not those that actually are more technical. It's not about their technical skills, as it were. It was basically how adaptable they were. So for you to thrive in every season of technological change, you have to be the most adaptable. That's how you're going to get the best out of that season. Now, these were people that were willing to evolve instead of resisting it, people that were ready to, move with the tide. So the question here would be that, are you ready to evolve with AI? That's the new thing. Are you ready to move with it? Now, what does AI actually change? Okay, let's talk about what AI changes. So there are three things that AI changes. Yeah, thank you for that. So first, AI changes speed. We talked about writing emails. Sometimes you want to write an email, you have to, I want to do this, and then it churns it out for you in seconds, right? I want to create a slide. I have an idea of what I want to do. Can you help me build this up? Within seconds, you have what you need. So it's changed speed for us, okay? So things that would normally take us hours to do, they're now happening in minutes. And if you're writing a code, whether you're writing a code, you're creating reports, you're designing wireframes, AI can actually do the heavy lifting for you. So it takes care of the routine work, the repetitive work that you're always doing, so that you can focus on things that actually do matter. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing that AI changes is it changes your expectations, okay? Now, because tasks get done faster, the standards rise. So your employer says, you can't just be doing emails. I can have an AI chatbot doing that for me, all right? So they are changing your expectations. Your job roles are like, you have to do more than the basic now, right? So employees, clients, customers, they now expect more creativity, they expect more insight, they expect more innovation, There's just a whole change because the basics are now automated. So you have to do more. So your value now is not about how fast you can think, because AI probably is faster than you, right? Now it's about how well can you think. It's about the depth of your thinking, the depth of your creativity, not about the speed, okay? Because AI will be quite fast anyways, right? And then the third thing is that AI is changing the roles, okay? So for example, a software tester is not just clicking buttons anymore, right? Now they're designing smart AI-driven test strategies. It's not just about, I can click this. I have tools that can do that for me. Okay, so what are the strategies that you can offer that AI can do for me? That's the question, right? So a product manager now is not just about writing requirements, They're asking questions like, how can we use or build AI into this product to make it smarter, to make it faster, make it useful for consumers. So even marketers, designers, data analysts, everybody, they are rethinking what it means to do their job in this new landscape. So those three things are the changes that we see that AI has brought is changed speed, it's changed expectations, and it's also changing roles, okay? Now, if you're seeing AI as a threat, you're going to miss the bigger picture, right? The chance to see it as a partner, okay? It's not taking over your job. It's working together with you. So a partner that will help you to amplify what you're doing, okay? So the next slide says navigating the AI age. So how do we actually navigate all of this, in this our season? How do we, not just as companies, but actually as individuals, right? As people, how do we navigate all of this? So there are 3 principles that I've come up with that we can use, which will make a difference. The first one is be curious, not fearful, right? The fear will say, AI is going to take my job. But curiosity will say, how can AI help me do my job better, all right? So be curious, ask questions, try to know more. So instead of ignoring it, it's not going to go away anyways. If you like, close your eyes to it, it's there to stay. So don't ignore it. Rather, you should start experimenting with it. Try things out. Use it to brainstorm new ideas. Use it to test solutions. Just all try to get a better perspective at problems using AI. Now, think of it as your co-pilot. I mean, no pun intended, co-pilot. But, think of it as a co-pilot. It can help you fly further, right? It can help you do your job, go faster. But you are still the one that is steering the plane, right? It's not taking over. You are the one in charge. We're just using it because it's helping you to do things better and faster, right? Then the second thing is focus on human skills. It's still a machine. There's a whole lot that it can't do. If as a product manager, there's empathy that is required in what you're doing. I think one of my friends, I was in a product management class, I think last week, and he was talking about, I can't remember, I think it was one company, I can't remember where. And during Mother's Day, they wanted to run a campaign. And it was something about, they sent notifications to their customers, like a missed call. So missed call from mom, do you get? And all their customers got it. And people started attacking them. I mean, it sounded nice, like, people will see it, and then they will call their mom, like, hi, mom, you called me. I'm like, I didn't call you. I'm like, oh, okay. The idea was to make you remember your mom. But then they forgot that some people lost their mom. So if your mom has died 20 years ago, and you see missed call from mom, you're like, where is this woman coming from, Someone is calling you from the dead, right? I don't know if they use AI to think about that idea, but the empathy there is somebody will say, I'm sorry, I don't have my mom here. What are we doing? So there's a human factor that AI will not consider. Do you get? So you need to focus on the human skills that AI cannot provide. What can AI not give you? That is where you come in, all right? So all AI does is recognize pattern. I have machine learning engineers here, so they will tell you, things like that. All it does is just recognize pattern in what you've given it, the data you've given it, right? It just looks at, okay, this looks like this looks like this. If I do this, it's always give this. So it uses that to, give you results. It's good at doing repetitive tasks. However, it can't replace empathy, it can't replace leadership, it can't replace judgment or creativity. Now, those are the things that actually make us human, and AI cannot do that, right? So your developer, we need to communicate clearly. For example, if you have a developer that is really good at writing codes, but cannot communicate clearly, AI will take that person's job most likely, because AI will probably write great codes too. But if you now have someone who is good with code, but can communicate with your stakeholder, you will most likely go with that person. That's who I will keep on board, because I know that the machine cannot talk to people, but I need this guy to talk to people for me. And he's good at his job and can also do the communication part, all right? So your human edge, that mix of your emotional intelligence, your critical thinking, and your adaptability, those are your greatest advantage. That's what gives you the edge over artificial intelligence. And then the third thing is keep learning. Always keep learning, right? Things are changing fast. AI is evolving every day. I think it's every day you see an update somewhere. They're just, OpenAI did one update yesterday. They just keep doing things every day. It's changing all the time. New tools, new frameworks, almost every week, right? So you don't need to chase everything. There's a whole lot out there. How many things can you even learn per time? You don't have to chase everything, but when you stay curious and adaptable, you will know the particular thing you need to focus on. So learn to take short courses, join a learning community, attend events like this one, and, pick a tool and just explore it deeply, just dig in deep, right? Because in this AI age, it's not about knowing everything. It's actually about being willing to learn more. It's about depth, right? It's not just about just breadth. Sometimes you have to actually dig deep for you to maximize what you have. Now, next slide is maximizing artificial intelligence. Now, we've already said that it's not just about surviving, right? It's one thing to survive the age we are in right now, but it's another thing to actually maximize it. So how do you maximize artificial intelligence? The first thing is you can use AI to accelerate your learning. I remember there was a time when I was trying to um, do my automation in testing, and I went on ChatGPT and I was like, you know what? Can you give me a 52-week plan on learning automation tools? And it gave me a breakdown. It was so detailed. Week 1, you focus on this and this and this. Week 2, I was like, oh my God, okay. If I had gone to a school, they'd probably not give me this kind of curriculum. And it was really good. All you have to do is just follow it. So you can actually use AI, if you are struggling with, let's say, for example, you are new to tech, you're trying to learn SQL. Ask an AI tool to explain it to you in plain English. It will break it down to you like a child. Tell you what you need. Like, okay, can you explain this to me? I'm not getting this. I know there are times when I'm trying to troubleshoot a code and something not working, and I press run and it's just giving me got this red line. I'm like, dude, what's going on? I don't know. I just copy and paste like, what's going on here? And you tell me, oh yeah, line whatever. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that. Okay, so those are the things you want to do, right? So you ask AI to help you understand something. Something looks ambiguous. You're not sure what it means. Throw it in there and say, can you explain this better? It will help you, break it down for you. And you'll be amazed at how quickly you can move from confusion to clarity. So use it to accelerate your learning. Number 2 is use it to test your ideas, all right? So designers, for example, can use AI to sketch and mock up concepts in minutes, right? You can, testers like us, we can also generate, our test scenarios and our data sets. Analysts can use it to spot trends that would have taken them probably hours or days to uncover. It's like having a smart assistant. That's what it is, right? So it does the heavy lifting for you, like we said earlier. It doesn't get tired. That's a good thing because your assistant will have to sleep, but AI does not sleep. It doesn't need to sleep. So you know that 247, you have the help that you need, all right? So, and the third one is you can use it to stand out. Let's say, for example, in jobs, you see a lot of people, I think I've noticed it here. Now, before, the academicians will tell you that don't use AI to write your essay and all of that. Please, I use it for my project. Hello, I've already passed, so they can't take it away from me. It helps me. Now, in jobs, I've seen now, when I see vacancies, they'll tell you now that, at least not everyone, but most jobs now tell you, the use of AI is accepted, as long as, please don't just copy and paste it, Don't just give us scenarios that are not true, right? When you are using AI, make sure that you use your head with it, right? So, in interviews or projects, don't just say things like, oh, I know about AI. It's not about you. Everybody knows about AI, duh. So what do you know that makes you different? Show them how you've actually used it. Let them know what you've used it to get, how it has helped you, what you've been able to achieve with it. So now, share real-world stories. I used AI. I know at work, I used AI to solve a problem, and everybody, literally, I started getting calls from people that I've never met, and they're like, hi, I heard about you. You used AI for something. Can you explain it? I'm like, okay. I should explain it to you. It was quite funny, but when people heard what I did with AI, I was like, okay, I thought it was like common knowledge. Like, no, it's not common knowledge. We don't know about that. Like, okay. But it made now everybody, when they see me, like, yeah, you're the AI girl. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm the AI girl. It was really good. But now everybody, there's a value that's now been attached to me because I was able to show the real world use of this, that this is how it can help. So those real stories are actually gold if you're smart about it. If you're able to share it in a constructive way, it will show initiative, it will show creativity, and it will show how adaptable you are to the changing trend in the world. So it's one thing to know about AI, and it's another thing to actually apply it. And that's where the opportunity lies, how you apply AI in your everyday doing. Now, I'm just going to close with this. AI is not here to write your story for you. It's actually here to give you more tools, more choices, and to make your reach even farther than before. So, but the pen, the creativity, the judgment, the direction, everything is still in your hand. You are the ones that you are steering the plane. I mentioned earlier that it's just a co-pilot. You are the one in charge. So my challenge to everyone here and those that are online is be curious, sharpen your human edge, keep learning, and don't just navigate AI, but maximize it, all right? Because the future doesn't belong to those who fear the wave. It actually belongs to those who learn how to ride it. So thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have learned one or two things from that. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Now we'll be calling on our keynote speaker, Mrs. Adeshola Aruna. She'll be talking to us about positioning yourself in tech space, in the job market. So please let me welcome her to the stage.
No, I'm not sure I'm needed. I think she's covered everything. No. Already. I was nodding as she was speaking along. Are my slides coming up? Okay, perfect. So yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity to speak. I was asked to speak about how you position yourself in an AI era. And to be honest, a lot of the things that I would probably tell you today are not new. You may have heard them before. And when we have these things and people speak of these things, that's often the case. It's not new things sometimes. Sometimes it's a reminder, but sometimes there's a nugget, just one thing that you take away from it that would make a difference to you. So that's what I'm hoping for you guys today, in the room and online, that there is one thing I would say that would be, okay, maybe that could be helpful. Anyway, as we're talking about I am going to, full disclosure, first slide, AI. Okay? I wanted to look at the labor market snapshot, and I was thinking, before AI, how would I have done this? I'd probably be trolling a lot of websites looking for information. That's what I would have been doing, reviewing industry bulletins and things like that, to try and gather information. But you know what? I just said, give me a current labor market snapshot. Boom. 2 minutes, I was done. So what I'm going to read you now is what AI has pulled together for me in terms of the labor market. But it's not untrue. The human edge, obviously I reviewed it. I agree with it. And that's the thing, AI sometimes can be wrong. And they actually say that they can be wrong sometimes. So that's where the human effect comes in. You have to look at it and make sure that you agree with it. And you'll be pleased to know that widely it has captured the truth of the current labor market, basically a snapshot of it. So, employer confidence in hiring is low at the moment. It's going down at the moment, right? Various factors for that. If you're thinking Aberdeen, for example, the oil and gas market, what's happening with oil and gas? You're thinking about the regulation, government policies, how it's impacting oil and gas. Taking oil and gas as an industry, you can understand why employer confidence might be low at the moment. And that's not to say they're not hiring, it's that they're not rushing out to hire, is what I'm saying. So, job vacancies market is 7.1% down from where it used to be. Let's even say at the start of the year. Employment rate, we're looking at about 4.7% unemployed, 21% inactive. In terms of permanent placements, we find that candidates are looking for more contract-like appointments, right? And to be honest, that's probably what a lot of employers are willing to offer at the moment, again, because of the confidence level. So we're starting to see contract to temporary, to permanent offer ratio is kind of edging towards the contracts more than permanents. Interestingly, salaries are going up. As that when the candidates are out there, they're looking for more at the moment. So employers are finding that in order to attract really high quality applicants, then you need to be very creative with your compensation, basically. We're starting to see the rise of remote and hybrid working, gone are the days where you have to be in an office to be productive. You can be anywhere nowadays, including the comfort of your home, and be productive. AI and automation, that's why part of the reason we're here was a big part of the conversation this morning. We're obviously starting to see the rise of that. And it's no different in hiring practices, is that, there is an increased use in AI in recruitment practices, in hiring practices at the moment. And we'll talk a little bit about that. There is now an emphasis on skills-based hiring. And then Yola mentioned that. She talked about honing your skills, sharpening your skills, making sure that you stay ahead with your skills. There is definitely an emphasis. Your degree is fine. It makes sense to have a degree. But employers are wanting to know, what can you do? That's what they want to know, right? So in terms of strategic HR focus, because of the confidence being low, the focus is really about retaining the skills that they've got, honing those skills, internal mobility, people moving around, and employee well-being. That said, there are some markets that are growing, and for the tech guys in the room, you'd be pleased to hear that the tech market is booming, right? That's one of the markets that are booming. Um, Tech, uh, the green sectors, topics around sustainability, things like that are really booming at the moment. So it's not all doom and gloom in terms of employer confidence. I think where there is uh, higher activity, where the conversations are leading at the moment, you find that employers are actually looking for skills in those areas. So we want to, no, stay on that, please. I'll still talk about skills hiring because that's important. So yeah, I talked about a degree being great, but skills being, what employers are focused on. And the reason behind that is they want people that will come in and ramp up really quickly. I mean, uh, it's great. Employers want to train, that's for sure. And you see the rise of apprenticeships. Things like apprenticeships are going up. You see that. Um, but that's the point of an apprenticeship is that they get you into work. You're learning as you're working, right? And then by the time you're out of that apprenticeship, you've got the skills that you need to make you productive almost from day one. That's what employers are looking for. That's why they're looking for you to match the job. And they're looking for you to have the skills that would match the job and bring you in at that level. So they're looking for people who've gained skills through alternative routes as well as degrees, would be apprenticeships, military service, online courses, some of the things you heard Eniola mention. AI shaping recruitment is definitely, according to standoutcv.com, 30% of employers are now using AI for hiring. So that is increasingly becoming more widespread in recruitment for CV screening, candidate matching skills and experience and things like that. But Eniela said something about the human edge. It doesn't replace the human edge. There is still a human-centered design around recruitment and hiring. Employers actually want to make the candidate experience, they're putting an emphasis on that, they want candidates to spend less time putting together an application. So all those cumbersome and long-winded forms, hopefully in anybody who's job searching at the moment, in their experience, seeing that that's phasing out. You have more intuitive platforms in terms of the recruitment tools, and you see that that's a priority for employers. Okay, we can move on. I think the next slide was talking about what are employers looking for. That's basically. So yeah, I suppose I can speak from experience being an HR manager as to what we're looking for. It's no longer about looking for someone who's got minimum requirements now. It is really candidates that can demonstrate experience, skills, with looking at things like adaptability. I think Eniola mentioned that. Learning agility. She also mentioned that, which was why I felt like I probably shouldn't be standing here. She's covered my talk. But they're also looking for cultural fit when you come into the organization, how you fit within the organization. And they're looking for innovation as well. Skills, skills, skills. And I'm going to say skills all through because it really is the new currency. If you don't have the skills, there's no interest, basically. There's no interest. There's a difference if you're coming in entry level, that's different. But you're coming in experienced professional, they're looking for you to demonstrate that you have the skills that they need for the job requirements. The skills are over, pedigree. It's really over, I'm a doctor this, I'm a master's holder that, and, great. But what have you done? Where have you added value? What's the measurable impact that you have made? Real world results. I think you mentioned that. Quantifiable achievements. What's your portfolio, your case studies, your projects that you've worked on? Those are the sort of things that is of interest to an employer today that's hiring. That's what they want to see. They want to see tech literacy, AI literacy, funny enough, and again, speaking to what Eniola said earlier on, people being concerned about AI, they actually want you to be AI literate. They want you to understand AI. They want you to demonstrate ethical use, though, of AI, right? So use AI, by all means, use AI, but use it ethically and show that you can use it to add value to your role. Soft skills, they're important. Okay, some people come into the work and all they care about is, I'm technically competent, I'm technically competent, okay, great. But can you communicate that technical competence? Are you resilient? Can you change if something's changing? Can you adapt to change? Can you collaborate? Are you a team player? Can you work in a team? That's what people, employers are interested in. People who are hiring are looking for that in a candidate. So when you're putting together your portfolio, when you're trying to present yourself by way of CV or interviews, and we'll get into that a little bit later, that's what you should be projecting. That's what people want to see. Beyond the technical expertise, they want to see all these other softer elements around it as well. Okay, so how do you navigate the UK jobs market, or any jobs market, to be honest? Because I think a lot of these principles just cut across different markets. Have you audited your skills? Have you mapped them out? What are your core competencies? What's your experience? How does it align with the roles that you are targeting, that you want to be recruited for? If you're changing roles, you're changing industries, what transferable skills have you got that can cut across, the roles or the industry? How are you building your personal brand? You're selling yourself when you're in the jobs market. How are you building your personal brand? How are you showcasing it? What tools are you using to showcase it? Where are you? What's your online footprint? How are you making yourself visible? All of these things are very important in today's world. Today's very technologically advanced world, where we have things like social media supporting businesses, where we have things like AI supporting businesses. You can actually leverage these tools to showcase yourself in the jobs market today. Define your career goals, short-term, long-term ones. I mean, sometimes you see people, I want to be this, and that's it. I want to be this. Okay. You might need to be that before you become that. Have you thought about what that career pathway is going to look like? How do I move myself from my short-term career goals to my long-term career goals? What industries do I want to target? What companies do I want to target? What sort of roles are going to lead me there? Keep on top of market trends. People just kind of whip out CVs and apply to a job. What do you know about that market? What's happening in that market? What are they looking for in that market today? Be open to possibilities. And by this, I'm not saying compromise. I'm not saying that you want to be a tech manager and so you have to go and be a nurse first or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, though, that what are the possibilities? Are there roles that could impact your short-term goals but lead you towards your long-term future? And what does that look like for you? You need to be thinking about that. You need to embrace change, really. The market is evolving, right? The market evolves. Like it's been said already, it's evolving. There's remote working, like I mentioned earlier on. There's the gig economy. There is technology impacting everything. There's AI integration. You have to be ready to pivot when needed. If you're on a direct path and something changes, you need to be able to, be adaptable enough to change gears, right? But not just change gears for the sake of it. Really analyze, what does my strategy need to look like now? Because I need to change strategies. Things have changed, Again, I can't speak enough to adaptability and resilience. I think these are really key buzzwords for employers now. They want people that can change. They want people that are resilient. Definitely. So, in terms of your job search and positioning yourself in the market, you can apply those principles as well. You can apply the principles of adaptability, of change, of being nimble, of responding to the trends around you. Okay. Okay, know what the skills are that are in demand. So stay on your trends, know what's out there, be on top of AI, get involved in the conversations with stats, with anybody else, tap into podcasts, follow opinion polls or writers that are out there. Understand regulations, UK employment law, visa requirements, those sort of things. Understand how they impact you, what you need to do. Um, and stay informed on how companies are using AI to hire. So in a lot of job adverts, you probably would see where AI is featuring. You will see the employer saying, AI is in use here, basically. They're upfront about it, is that we actually use AI or we welcome AI or, something like that. There would be reference to it. So do not be shy. And when you see that, that sort of information, leveraging that information and using it to your advantage. And invest in learning. It's important to continue to stay upskilled, right? Take courses in AI, digital tools, leadership, sector-specific courses. Keep yourself, learning. Keep learning continuous. Continue to build your portfolio. Leverage free resources. It doesn't mean that you have to pay for a course all the time or to attend a seminar or webinar. There are free webinars and courses out there that you can leverage. Go on LinkedIn Learning, for example, and just see what you could potentially do with that. There's opportunities there that doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay for them. Slide 5, please. So how do you make your application stand out? CV customization. This is not new. It's not new, but you find that for some reason people just don't take this seriously. Trust me, it is serious. If you send a CV that, I would know that this is a CV that you sent to 200 other companies, exactly the same thing, because you haven't customized it. You haven't read the job description and you haven't responded to it. You just chucked a CV out, right? You have to read the job description. Read the job description. Look at the person's specification. Look at the job requirements. It really isn't one size fits all. You can't, you do that, you might get lucky, but I'll tell you, many recruiters will identify that straight away. And really focus on what you can do. I think I've said that already, so apologies if I'm repeating myself there, but it's important. We're not just looking at job titles now. We're not just looking at degrees now. We are looking at what you can do. So again, the focus is on the skills. It's on the skills. Showcase your outcomes. We're not looking for a list of tasks and duties. Tech manager here or whatever manager there, and I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this, like just a list of your job duties by your job description. That's not what we're looking for. We want you to say what you've actually achieved in that role. So we're looking for a measurable outcome, for you to demonstrate measurable outcomes using quantifiable measures and metrics. I have done X percent, well, I've achieved X percent increase in X since joining in 2000 and X. That's kind of like really smart. And it's telling me this person's results driven. They go after achievements. We want to see that. We want to see, yes, this is what you do, but yes, this is what you've achieved. These are the outcomes that you can demonstrate. Polish your LinkedIn profile. It is important when you're looking for a job and you're wanting your application to stand out. Make sure it's complete. Make sure it's professional, please. but also make sure that you have optimized it for your keywords. If there's a certain career or a certain job or role that you're going after, then make sure that the what would be typically in demand for that type of role is what you're capturing within your LinkedIn profile. And then don't, and look, I'm guilty of this as well, so I'm not always on LinkedIn posting and sharing insights, I'm not. But I do tell you, if you're in the job market, it probably would do you well to share your insights if you've got them. Put posts out there if you can. Comment on industry trends. Just really make yourself visible there as well. That can be really helpful. And then connect with recruiters. LinkedIn, after all, is a connectivity platform. There could be others out there. I'm just very familiar with LinkedIn. Whatever platforms you're using, including LinkedIn, connect with the type of people that you would want to project yourself onto on those platforms. Join professional groups if you can and engage in discussions. And then the cover letter. Yes, I know. People think that it's not important. Trust me, it is important. Very important. And your cover letter should not just be, I see it a lot of times, it's kind of like an add-on afterthought. My CV will speak for itself. Let me just put, dear sir, I'm applying for X role. I do this and this and this. Thanks for your consideration. Your cover letter is an opportunity for you to tell your story. All those things that bullet points on your CVs, you can bring those together into a story on your cover letter that you can tell about who you are. Personalize it, right? That's what employers want to see. They want to see that you're not just one of the same. They want to understand what's making you unique. A cover letter can be an opportunity for you to stand out. So it is important, and we do pay attention to cover letters. We do. So look at that. Explain why you're excited about the role in your cover letter as well. It's really an opportunity for you to sell yourself. So take the opportunity of a cover letter to cover things that perhaps in the very strict structure of a CV you're not able to really go into the depths with. Go niche. Target specialized roles if you can. Focus on areas where your expertise really stands out. Highlight your unique skills. If you're, one that's has some very kind of tech expertise, project that. If it's some sort of design expertise that you've got, people want to hear about that. Really project your expertise, something that can make you stand out. And prepare. It doesn't matter if you've been going for a lot of interviews. For each interview, take your time out to prepare. Read that job description. Read your CV. Read your cover letter again. There's a lot of employers that are using AI-assisted interviews. Prepare for that. That can be a very structured interview process. Prepare for that too, right? Keep your responses, keep it very clear. No waffles. When you're in an interview, nobody wants you to be kind of talking forever and a day. Less conversation, please. And that's not by saying one-word answers, please. It's by saying, don't go on forever. That's boring. We just want to hear about you. Keep the conversation. Keep in line with the conversation. And when you're in front of that recruiter, ask questions, please. Ask questions. Make sure you're asking about culture. You're asking about, the organization culture, their technology, growth opportunities. How can you make an impact in the first 30, 90, whatever days? Just really project yourself in that interview through even the questions that you would ask. Yeah. Okay. So I've been talking for a bit now. I'll come to the end of it. What are the key takeaways, if I was going to summarize everything that I've said, is that your career is like a product. Yeah? You are selling yourself in the jobs market. That's what you're doing. You have to think of yourself like a brand, your personal brand. You package your CV in line with that. Make sure that your online portfolio and your online presence aligns with that. There's something we call employer value proposition. Is what the employer stands for. I'm going to say you project that, your personal value proposition. What is your value proposition? What is it that makes you unique? What makes you different? Communicate that. And then keep refining your skills, keep staying relevant. AI is a tool. I'm echoing what was said earlier on, but it is a tool. Use it for efficiency. Use it. It's okay to use it, but it shouldn't replace your creativity. Employers want to see your own creativity, so it shouldn't replace it. I mean, there was, there was one occasion where there was 4 applicants to a role, and 3 of those applicants basically got probably the same AI tool to write the same CV, and they put that forward. It's like, okay, the problem wasn't for us that AI wrote that CV. The problem was that there was no human interaction with the writing of that CV. So it was a one-size-fits-all. The 3 people used probably the same AI tool, and it turned out exactly the same thing. So, and that was very evident to us. Preparation is key. Research employers, know their culture, know their values. If you're going after a job, going after a particular company, understand that company. And it is not about a 5-minute read of their website. Oh, you are in 200 countries, and you are based in Aberdeen, and you're this and that, and okay, great. Employers want to hear that you have gone a bit deeper than that. Look for them in news articles. What's happening to them? If they're on the stock exchange or whatever, look at that. What's happening with their financials? When you bring out those little nuggets that they wouldn't normally expect people to go and look at, trust me, they're impressed. And they think this person's interested, really genuine, not just looking for a job, genuinely interested in our organization. Employers want that. They want people that are really interested. And clarity, adaptability, that word again, and authenticity. They want to hear about your experiences, not somebody else's. Don't go making up stories. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear about you. So be unique and be honest with them. If there's something that is not acceptable to you, say it. I have had scenarios where people have been surprised by, oh, I told them I wanted X amount of money. I thought that put me out of the race. But guess what? They called me back. You've been honest, you've been clear, and probably matched your request by the demonstration of your skills and experience during the interview anyway, So don't be afraid to be honest. If something's not going to work for you, just say it. The fact that the job description has said they want X doesn't mean that they cannot change. The companies can stay adaptable as well. So be honest and clear about what you want. Reflection and then action. Very important. So you didn't pass that last interview. Did you sit and wonder why? Did you do a surgery on it? So that the next time you're at an interview, you're addressing whatever you think didn't go right. Or perhaps you were provided with feedback. Now, I know I'm a recruiter, and I know that we don't always go back with feedback. I know that, right? So you might not always get feedback. But trust me, I think a lot of people know when they have messed up somewhere in an interview as well. You step out and you think, ooh, that part of the conversation didn't go well. So you can do reflection and really consider what didn't go right there and how can I make a change. And finally, just be ready to adjust your strategy based on feedback. If something's not working for you, be ready to change approach. Stay nimble, stay flexible. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, so I'm just going to join.
I thought the questions were for the panel session.
No, we've got some questions online.
Right.
So I'm just going to ask, okay, there's one question here saying, from your experience, what are the most common mistakes job seekers make when they're trying to enter the UK job market?
So I think I've maybe touched on a few of them, right? One is not being authentic, you know, is coming in and thinking that the employers want a certain thing, and therefore channeling all your strategy approach towards that, what you think the employers want, and not really presenting your unique self to them. I think that's certainly a common mistake that people do coming into the market is, this is what I think they want, and this is what I'm going to present to them, right? Um, like, some of it is also just not being, is it reasonable with what you're looking for? Again, this is not about compromise. This is about, you might not be able to get that senior director, senior manager job that you're after because you think you've got the experience from another market. Now, it's not impossible, but it may not happen. So if it doesn't happen, what do? Do you stick on that path and stick on that path? Or do you reassess, readjust your strategy? You know? That's another one. Personal experience, and I don't know that this is the pathway for everybody, but my personal experience, I came from Nigeria, I was leading a team, right? And when I came into this country, I started at the bottom. But for an HR job, that I knew that that was my career path. So at the bottom, not having any teams, not managing anybody, you know? And I built my career back up within a reasonable space of time, I would say, to where I'm now, you know, managing teams. So again, it's adjusting your strategy. I was coming in with relatively low or no HR experience. I had an HR degree. Well, guess what? That's not what the employer was looking for. They wanted someone with experience. And so if I was looking for my managerial job, I would have probably become Methuselah waiting for it. Okay? So again, it's adjusting your strategy. But once you get that in, once you get the in, how do you build yourself up quickly to then make, you know, the progression back to where you want to be? That's what I would say to that question.
How important is networking compared to formal qualifications when trying to get or grow your career here in the UK or possibly anywhere?
So I think I mentioned formal qualifications. I don't know if the individual's talking about degrees and things like that. They're important, but employers are looking for skills, okay? So your qualifications are great, but they are looking for skills. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for your experience more than anything else. So that's important. And to be honest, to a large extent, it does drive the recruitment. It's great if you network and if someone knows you, that does help. You know, if someone says to me, for example, I know that, oh, that CV, I know that chap, I met him the other day, he spoke really well. I probably will pay attention to that CV again, right? Because someone has said that. So you can't underestimate the importance of networking too, which is why it appeared in my talk earlier on, is all of these elements together are helpful. But I don't know, to a large extent, the recruitment would be based on your experience and skills, not just because you know somebody somewhere.
Okay. So it's a combination of all of that. Okay. The last question here says, how can professionals with international experience or education best position themselves for UK? I mean, I think I've been a victim. So you're coming here with 4 years experience from Nigeria, and then you get here and you tell them, oh, I've been working as this, and they're like, nah. You know, so how do we balance that? What can we do coming from Nigeria or anywhere that's not the UK with experience?
Look, I don't think you do anything really different to what you're doing apart from projecting your skills, right? Package those skills. What are they looking for? Package it to whatever they're looking for in terms of your skills, packaging your skills to adapt to that. there's not much more you can do. It just depends on what the organization or the hiring entity is looking for at that point in time. Sometimes that international experience is what they're looking for, in which case, if you fall upon a job advert like that, you're probably best positioned for it. If that's not the case and they're looking for something different, that's probably where you get the no's. But the point I'm trying to make again is that sometimes you come here and you can like slot in right away into wherever you left Nigeria, and if that or anywhere else you're coming from, and that's great if you can do that. But sometimes you might just need to adapt and change.
Thank you very much. And that's all the question we got. Thank you so much.
No worries.
All right. Thank you so much once again for that insightful session. Thank you, everybody. I'm sure you guys have learned one or two things from more than one or two things because I took away a lot of things from there. So thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate it. All right. So the next session, we're going to have a short time of games just to, we've learned so much, but let's relax a bit now. We've done like 2 sessions already. So we're going to have a session on games. Can you please project the games and break Slido session? All right, guys. So for the guys online, you can join on slido.com. Use the code that's showing. Guys in here as well, please join on Slido. Everybody, let's join on Slido. The code is 4456118. So go to slido.com. We've got some questions that if you are on the leaderboard, like the first 3, you're going to get gifts. Sorry for the guys online. If you are the first 3 online, we'll give you a round of applause, okay? So slido.com. The code is 4456118. All right? So we're waiting. All right? All right. Okay, we've got David. We've got Malik. Okay. All right, guys, join. We're waiting for more people. We've got UD. I hope I got that right. We've got UD. We've got Brenda. Okay. All right. Okay. Paul has joined. Larry's here. Good, guys. Okay, we're waiting for more people to join us on Slido, and then we'll take it from there. So, Henry, GB. Thanks, guys. More people. Right now we have how many participants on the game? Joy is also here. Okay. All right. So David, Malik, UD, Paul, Brenda, Larry, GB, Henry, Joy. Any more people joining? Just going to do 1 more minute for people to join the Slido. So for guys online, just go to slido.com and then you input the code 4456118. Okay? We're just going to drop that on the YouTube channel so guys know. Okay. All right, so we've put a comment on the YouTube live, so you guys can see the code to join the game session. Okay, so I guess we can start. All right, so the first question is up. I mean, this is a no-brainer. What does AI stand for? What does AI stand for? I think you'll be taking into account speed. Oh, I mean, I don't know. You may want to look. You may want to look further. I'm pretty sure. It looks like a trick question, but you may want to actually look. You want to look. Pay attention. Attention is very important for this first question. Yeah. Attention to detail. Yeah. Every lot of people like, this is the same answer, right? No, it's not. It's not. Okay. All right. So that's the first question. Okay. Let's reveal our answer. Okay. All right. So I'm sure everybody can see that. The answer is C, artificial intelligence. So there's a spelling thing going on in first and second answer there, okay? All right. So, Brenda is leading. Yay, 14 seconds. Okay, go Brenda. Okay, nice one. Nice one. Well done, Brenda. Okay, next question. Let's go to question number 2. What year did OpenAI release ChatGPT to the public? I mean, guys that are following the trend. Come on. Women supporting women. I'm here for Brenda. Brenda, come on, keep pushing. Okay. Okay. We got voting, 8 voting so far. All right, 9 votes, 10 votes. Okay. The voting is closed. And the answer is 2022. So that was the year OpenAI released ChatGPT to the public. Leaderboard. Oh, UD. Oh, UD is up. Okay. Okay, Brando, you can still do this. We still got some questions to go. Okay. All right, next question. What's the name of Google's AI chatbot? So I think most of these tech companies have their chatbot. So what's the one for Google? What's the name? All right. All right. All votes have come in. Okay, waiting for that to close. And we are. All right, and the answer is Gemini. Okay. UD does not. UD, you mean business? Oh, hey. UD too is a woman. Women supporting women. Sorry, guys. She's a woman. So, yeah, I'm supporting her. Yeah. Go UD. Okay. And Malik is literally trying. Malik and Paul, you guys are trying to, get in there as well. All right. Okay. All right, next question. Which company created the coding assistant tool, Copilot? It's hard. I heard somebody say it's hard. Okay. I mean, this is just to help us understand more about actually, let me say the truth. While we're collating this question, I actually did not know the answer to some of them as well. So it was an opportunity for me to learn as well. I didn't know. I was like, oh, really? When I saw the answer to this question, I was like, oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. The answer to this is GitHub. So GitHub created Copilot. So let's see. Hey, UD. Oh, come on. Okay, UD. Oh, guys online, the question here is, we hope UD is not using AI. No. Judy, are you using AI? No, I don't think. She's right here. Okay, all right. The next question. AI can make mistakes because it learns from data created by human. True or false? So do you think AI can make mistakes? AI, it's almighty AI, you guys. Are you sure it don't make mistakes? I'm not sure. Come on. You think AI can make mistakes? True or false? Okay. And the answer is true. Yes, it definitely can make mistakes. I've had situations where AI was hallucinating. It was giving me stuff that didn't exist. Man, you want to reference stuff, and I'm like, who is this? I checked the name and it doesn't exist. Guy, come on. It's crazy. So yeah, it does make mistake, okay? All right. UD is still in the leading. Come on, girl. Come on, I'm proud of you. Okay, Malik is second, and Paul is third. Brendel is fourth. Brendel, don't worry, the guys are going to sleep somewhere, and you're going to get back in there, okay? I'm very, very sure about it. Okay. All right, so what was the first programming language? The first programming language, Fortran, C++, and then Java was the first programming language. There's something interesting about, Jerry is in here. It's so interesting because I remember in school, I went to AU, and they taught us Fortran on paper. Oh, God, we had to use pencil and writing stuff. Oh, Malik, yeah, you also experienced that, right? Yeah, we usually use paper and pen to be writing codes then. God, who even remembers Fortran now? Hi, man, we've seen things in this life. All right, the answer is Fortran. Fortran is the first programming language. I don't even know if anybody remembers what that code is like. All right, our cybersecurity analyst understands that. Okay, so yeah, Fortran was the first one. Still Hudi, followed by Malik and Paul. You guys should fall down. What was wrong with you? You guys should come down so Brenda can go up. Next question. What was the first social media platform ever created? What? It's up, oh. Your network, oh God. Network has done some people's strong thing. Uh-oh. Oh, it's up. Can other people see it? Refresh. It's probably locked already, so. Oh, Henry, sorry. The answer is 6 degrees. I've never heard of it. And I was like, what? I've never heard of 6 degrees, man. But hey, that's what they said. Somebody got it. Hey, now the leaderboard, Paul is leading. Hey, okay. Paul, well done. Not to be biased, but okay. UD, you can still do this. I believe in you. Malik is number 3. Brendel is number 4. Okay. You still can't see it. Hey. Network is a bad thing. The next question is up, by the way, and it locks in about 10 seconds. So, what's the most popular web browser in the world today? We've got Safari, we've got Opera Mini, and we've got Google Chrome. Which one do you think is the most popular web browser in our age and time? All right. 100% people said Google Chrome, and you guys are correct. So, Google Chrome is the most popular web browser in the world today. All right. Okay. Next question is up. What's the most commonly used programming language for AI development? The key part here is for AI development. That's the important part. You need to see that question very well. So, what's the most commonly used programming language for AI development? All right. The answer is Python. So, Python is what's used mostly when it comes to AI. Paul is still on, followed by UD and then Malik. All right. I think we have that same leader: Paul, UD, Malik, Brenda, Larry. Okay. All right. Next question. Next question is a true or false question. The term bug in computer science came from a real life incident. True or false? Don't believe anything you hear. Someone is whispering one answer. If you follow what they are saying, I pity you. Don't follow what they are saying, no. Okay? All right. Actually, the answer is true. So I think the story is a moth flew into the computer and then it stopped, it affected whatever was going on there. So yeah, it's actually a real life bug. Okay, I think that was actually the last question. Oh, look at that. All right, so let's reveal our final leaderboard. Woohoo! So Paul is our leader for today. All right, Paul. Nice one, Paul. So Paul, followed by UD, followed by Malik. So Paul had 9 out of 10 questions. So nobody got 10. Oh. Then UD had 9 out of 10, followed by Malik, 9 out of 10. Brenda had 8 over 10. Larry had 7 over 10. We had Lade at 7 over 10. Ike at 6 over 10. BC at 6 over 10. Adeshola at yeah, I think that's the end. I've gone so far. I think. No, actually, interesting, you're not. You're not. I think that's all the names I can mention. Yeah. I'm not going to mention. I'm proud of everybody that joined. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm really grateful that you guys joined. Okay, so we're just going to do like 2 minutes break before we have the panel session. So we're going to have to set up for the panel session to come up. All right, so just give us about 2 to 3 minutes for us to set up that session, and then we'll be back on. Thank you very much. So guys that are online, thank you so much for still staying on. We are really grateful that you guys are here. All right, so just give us a couple of minutes to set up for the panel session, and then we'll continue. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. So we are back here. Thank you very much for your patience. Much appreciated. So we've got our speakers or panelists here at the moment. I'm just going to start from my left, ladies first, yeah? So just give me a moment. I need to get James' profile up so that, you know. Uh, no. Oh, no, just doing introductions now, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Just trying to get the slide so I can read your bio. It's very important that we have everybody's details up there, you know. Like he's smiling at me. Okay, so first of all, I think I should first say a big thank you to everybody for being here on this panel. Guys, I need to tell you the sacrifice that this guy made to be here. Udema was on the train for 6 hours yesterday to get here. And I can't even imagine the stress. She went to work, and then from work, she came on the train and came all the way to Aberdeen. Aberdeen is like the end of the world, in my opinion. I feel like we're at the end of the world, literally, you know. And she made it all the way down here. So please help me appreciate Udeme. Udeme, thank you so much for being here. And then next to Udeme, we have Larry. Larry came from Bournemouth. He also had to first do a 2.5 hours train ride to London, and then from London, he flew down to Aberdeen. You know, I don't know. I've been blessed with amazing people in my circle, and I'm just really, really grateful. Thank you, Larry, for being here. And right here to my immediate left is Henry. Henry is a cybersecurity analyst. He drove from his house here in Aberdeen. So he drove from Aberdeen, but no. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Henry was in Barcelona for a conference, right? And he was supposed to be there till this weekend. But he canceled that so he could come in today. Henry, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And then we've got Paul. Paul came in from Edinburgh today. Yeah, he also did a 3.5 hours train ride just to be here. Look at the time spent on the road by these guys. Guys, thank you so much. Maybe collectively, you guys are spending over probably like almost 100 hours on the road because of this event, you know. And then we've got Malik. All right, Malik came from London as well. You first go to the airport. I think that's about how many hours journey to the airport? Like 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours to get to the airport in London. Yeah, and then flew down to Aberdeen as well. Amazing stuff. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to read the bio for each of the speakers so we know who they are. So we've got Udeme, like I mentioned. Udeme is a software quality assurance engineer with over 7 years experience working in the IT industry across fintech and social applications, whose analytical skills, attention to detail, and passion for improved customer experience have been instrumental in improving the quality of the software applications. She possesses an extraordinary combination of technical expertise, leadership skills, and a sincere commitment to nurturing talent through mentorship and trainings. Everybody, please help me welcome once again Udeme to this panel session. And then we've got Larry. So Larry Sule Balogun is a software engineer at Tilo, where, I hope I pronounced that right. Is it Tilo? Yeah. Tilo, where he designs and builds innovative solutions that power seamless digital rewards experiences. With a passion for continuous learning, Larry thrives on tackling complex challenges and turning ideas into impactful products. Beyond work, he's an avid gamer. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Open source contributor and active community mentor, regularly sharing insights at tech events and helping developers grow in their careers. Please welcome Larry to the panel session. As you mentioned, Larry has a yearly conference that he does, and this is a really big thing. It's in Nigeria, but it's actually an international conference. Speakers from all over the world come around. API conference, yeah, it's so big. This guy is a gem. Like, dude, I don't know how he does it, but he's doing amazing. So he will live here, the UK, go to Nigeria and set that conference up with hundreds of people attending. So, Larry, thank you so much. Really a great thing to have you here. Okay, and then we have Henry. So, Henry holds a first degree in computer science and a master's degree in cybersecurity. Henry has worked in the IT space for over 18 years and over 7 years in cybersecurity across the oil and gas industry, environment services, engineering designs, and technology companies. He has participated in multiple cybersecurity initiatives and conferences where he has made significant contribution on cybersecurity threat intelligence, incident response, AI in cybersecurity, and more. I should mention, he was in Barcelona this week, right, 2 weeks ago, you were in the US. You were in Seattle, was it? 1 month ago, was in Seattle as well for a conference. So this man is going all over the world, just doing big things. So help me welcome Henry again to this platform. Okay, and we've got Paul Owicho. Paul Owicho is a product-driven research engineer specializing in the practical application of natural language processing and information retrieval. He's currently a machine learning engineer at Malted AI, bringing a unique blend of award-winning practical application and deep academic research to role. Let me say something about the award-winning. This man did a competition and won, was it 50,000 pounds? Oh, sorry, 500,000 pounds. Yeah, okay, for him and the team. He did a competition and his team won the first prize, 500,000 pounds with Amazon, right? Yeah, with Amazon. So trust me, this guy is great. His background includes hands-on experience as a core engineer on the winning team of Amazon Alexa Prize, work with industry leaders like Google, and an ongoing PhD in informatics from the University of Edinburgh. This places Paul at the critical intersection of theoretical research and production engineering, where he focuses on building AI systems that are not only intelligent, but also genuinely helpful. So guys, help me welcome Paul to the team. Okay, and we've got Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik Masood Yarima is a front-end and mobile app engineer passionate about creating intelligent, user-focused digital experiences. He also co-founded Everycent, an AI-powered fintech startup, and founded Path to Tech NG, a mentorship platform helping aspiring developers break into tech. Currently pursuing a master's degree in artificial intelligence at Northumbria University, London, he's driven impactful projects at Sudo Africa and Save Haven Microfinance Bank, boosting engagement and app performance. A recipient of Sudo Africa's 2024 Award of Excellence and Guarantee Trust Bank Award of Excellence in 2020, Abdul Malik champions innovation, mentorship, and the use of AI to shape the technology of the world. So our award-winning, I also call him CR7 because he's a great footballer, you know. So our award-winning footballer. Help me welcome Abdul Malik. Okay, and last but not the least, whose picture we do not have on our slide is Mr. Jerry Ogunbaro. Okay, for work purposes, we do not have him on there because his work is quite sensitive. So we do try not to put him out there in social space. But he's a product designer with over 10 years experience. 15 years experience designing products. And this man, if I start mentioning the company he's worked for, NDA, I'm not going to talk, don't come and arrest me, you know. But he's an avid product designer, amazing work that he's been doing in the industry. So guys, help me welcome this amazing set of panelists to this wonderful session. Thank you guys for being here. Like I mentioned, it's actually an honor to be able to, tap into your knowledge, guys, to hear what you have to share with us today. So we're just going to dive right into it. For the guys online, I did mention that please, you can drop your questions. I think they've dropped a comment on there. You can drop your questions for us, and we'll look into it. So if you have questions, please drop them on Slido. So we've got a Slido running currently. You can drop your questions for them. So we're just going to get started. Our first question is, I'm going to ask each person to just talk briefly, okay? So maybe like a minute. Can you each tell us how you got into your current role and what actually drew you into it? I think we should start from Jerry. Let's start from Jerry.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so how I got into my current role, I would say it's been like a journey. I started designing from uni. That was in 2007, thereabout. And so I think I was just fortunate and timing was right because the time I got into design was when the tech economy bubble came about. And I think I was among the first batch of people that had the opportunity to get into the industry at the time because my role was needed for lots of startups. There were a lot of startups coming up, lots of fintechs, and all of that at the time. So for me, I think the timing was just right. Then, so after uni, I've got 1 minute. Let me just know if I'm rambling. So yeah, after uni, got into a company called Alder Consulting in Nigeria. It's the foremost branding company in Nigeria. So I did a stint with them. I was there for some time. That's where I cut my teeth in branding and all of that. So I was there for a couple of years. Worked on some major briefs that I can talk about. Worked on GT Bank branding. Worked on First Bank. Some work for federal government at the time. Then after then, I moved into fintech. I worked with a startup, seamless HR, fintech, HR, and all of that. From there, went back to a studio in Lagos, worked in a studio. It's been just all around the place. And eventually got back into finance, worked with a finance company, and then started a studio for myself, which was quite successful. We had a lot of, a couple of startups that were on our clientele, and two of the tier one banks in Nigeria. And yeah, from there, moved to the UK and got a role with a company where I work with one of those annoying technology companies that like to keep things on the second biggest in the world. And they kind of like to, I didn't get a clearance to talk about what I do. So, because you need like security clearance, because I work outside of the US, I work in the UK, and I couldn't get the proper clearance on time for this. So, yeah, that's been my journey. Yeah, so that's the thing. I didn't start out as a product designer. I started out with, I just love design. And I started at a time when it was old school. So I used to pick up flyers on the road and just design flyers for people. I was one of the popular guys that used to design flyers for people in OAU then. So that's how I started. And the technology thing came up in the middle of that. And it was just the perfect timing for me to get into technology. So I didn't start out as a product designer. I just enjoyed designs, how things function, how they look. And yeah, it just like progressed into technology. And that's the thing with the work that we do. Design is everywhere. So it's literally just designing stuff. It doesn't matter if it's on a paper, on a phone, on a tablet. Design is design. The resolution and the aspect ratio is the only thing that is different. So if you're interested in design, just have a passion for how things look, how they work, the behind the scene, and the platform where they are shown doesn't really matter. It's just aspect ratio and screens and possibly physical printing. So yeah, that's how I got into products.
Okay, so Malik, tell us how you started.
Okay, I'm currently a front-end software engineer trying to transition into machine learning engineering. But before that, in 2017, three of us here were in a training school in Lagos, in Ikeja. We're trying to break into the banking sector. And after that training school, we all had different roles. I was in customer service, in operations. Paul was in tech. Yeah, you were in marketing, oil and gas, yeah. So I was there for 4 years doing customer service, sometimes vault management, sometimes ATM operations. And for 4 years doing the same thing, obviously we'll get good at it. So um, I got tired of doing the same thing. So I reached out to the technology team in GT Bank and I told them that I want to join them. I was lucky that I knew somebody in HR, and that person reached out to the head of technology in GT Bank. But my division didn't want to let me go for obvious reasons. So I reached out to Access Bank. Access Bank gave me an offer to leave the bank. I took that offer, and within that period that I was waiting, a friend of mine that had done one or two things in Silicon Valley started a startup called Sudo Africa. And Sudo Africa is into API, card issuing APIs. So for example, they do virtual cards, they do physical cards, we do digital cards. So what happened was I had the specialty to work on ATM machines. And there's a kiosk that you see in front of GT Bank that produces cards instantly. You use your thumbprint. During COVID, the head office was closed. So the closest branch was mine, and I was the CIS officer. So I was the first person to be trained on that machine. So when Sudo Africa heard about that, they were like, oh, you can help us set up our card department at Sudo Africa. And also CBN mandated that they have a bank under the tech company, because if you're in the business of cards, you need a core banking application. So CBN mandated that they do some form of banking as well. So they had to buy ATM machines, they had to set up operations, and they felt like I could do all of those things. But I saw an opportunity for transitioning into what I want to do, right? Because I was tired of doing operations. I feel like it's just routine, and I studied mathematics in school, so it's not my thing. I want to use my brain to do some of the things. So I just reached out. The CEO was my colleague in ABU Zaria. He was in statistics, I was in mathematics, and I was like, I would join you, I will set up those departments, but in 6 months, I need to be a front-end software engineer. And he's like, deal. So that was it. We signed a contract for a 6-month period to set up card production, ATM production. And immediately I joined, I set up 2 ATM machines with InterSwitch, set up the card production with, forgotten the name of the company. And I trained some of their staff to work within those departments while I was learning from this front-end guy that worked with the company. So within 6 months, I was able to gain substantial knowledge on the tools that they use, and I was able to join immediately after 6 months to continue what the front-end team was doing. And it's been, I think I joined in 2021. It's been 4 years now and counting. But yeah, within that period, I got kind of bored doing front end again. So I'm like, what's the next thing? And it's like AI. I'm like, okay, let me come and do my master's. So that's how I find myself in front end and also in machine learning. Yeah.
So for me, I would say my path to machine learning was quite linear in the sense that, well, I started off at GT Bank where I met Christian and Malik, but the job that I was doing was sort of all over the place. So while I was employed as sort of like a software developer, I was doing graphic design as well. I was doing video editing, in addition to some front-end work that I was doing as well. And that eventually got frustrating, and I was trying to think of a way that I could sort of upskill and sort of be able to compete on a global scale. And that then motivated me to look for opportunities for further education. So I applied to a whole bunch of places for scholarships to do a master's, and eventually got a scholarship to study data science at the University of Glasgow. And sort of things have just gone from there. So did my master's, found a passion for natural language processing, machine learning, started a PhD shortly after that, and all my jobs have just sort of been within that domain. So nothing too crazy, quite linear. Yeah, that's me.
I think the crazy bit for you would be GT Bank.
Yeah, so for me, I think I'm a bit lengthy like Jerry's on. So I've started doing IT in maybe 2006. As Jerry said, it wasn't like I knew what I was gonna why I want to do it. So my other brother worked or owned a computer training school at the time. So I had access, right? So just kind of learning things. He had people who were enrolled and being trained. I wasn't enrolled, but because I had access to all the classes, so I could join the guys, be with them. The students were all my friends. So I was practically learning what everyone else is learning. And I think it comes natural to me to do stuff, find solution to things. So that was 2006. Then I got admission to study computer science. I was studying computer science while I was in school. There was one of the biggest software developers in Nigeria at the time. They developed an application called Business Sensor. So Business Sensor was probably the foremost Nigerian-owned hospitality management system, school management system that was being sold across Nigeria at the time. The founder of the company knew my brother. So he had his employees who do support for them. So I told them I was going to do it. They were like, we're not going to employ you. Are you going to work for free? I'm like, I will do it with your friend, with your guys. So I started working, joining the guys to go do. So they deploy applications in some of the big schools in Nigeria as at then, in Kaduna, in Enugu, in other states. So I go with them to support the implementation. So the deployment of the application itself. So that's how I really got into, doing a lot of IT stuff. So I became good at it. I worked with them. I ended up working with them for a number of time, a number of years, sorry, deploying these applications. And they developed a new tool called, um, I can't remember the name now, but I think I will. So Replicator. So at the time, database replication across, networking was still a big issue at the time. So most organizations that had branches didn't have connectivity, where let's say we have data stored on the system here, the other branch could access it and all that. There wasn't that kind of networking at the then. So we built something called a replicator that could replicate the databases across branches and all that. So that was how I started doing quite a lot in that. I started helping them do network installation of switches, routers, our clients, our companies, the companies that bought our service at the time. So I was literally doing everything in IT, right? I did software development. I started doing PHP, networking. So was doing everything, it was all over the place. At the time, IT career in Nigeria wasn't as, it wasn't niche based. You get what I mean? If you're seen as an IT person, even if what you were doing is graphics design, is an IT person. You're helping people format a computer workstation. You're an IT guy. So I was literally doing everything, right? So when I started my degree program studying computer science, I realized I started focusing a lot more on programming, right? So I started doing programming. Then after my youth service, myself and a friend started a company in Lagos that still exists today, building school management applications. So sold to some of the big schools in Lagos, some of the biggest schools in Lagos actually at the time. We're competing with some, I think Chinese-owned companies and Indian-owned companies actually that had, because Indians probably came with most software to sell to Nigerian companies at the time. So we kept going on as that. So I continued this for a long time. Between 2006 and 2000 and, let's say, 15, that's about 9 years. So at the end of 2016, there wasn't a clear direction. You get what I mean? So the growth hasn't come as expected. And I'm someone who loves learning every day. Like before anything new comes up in technology, I know about it. If it's something that interests me, I'm going to learn. So I did a program in 2016 with IBM on cybersecurity while I was in Lagos. I did that training and got the certification. I felt like, what, this sounds interesting. Seems like something I want to do. So then I made a plan that in the next couple of years, I'll go for my master's degree in this sector. At the time, I was still, I started working with another startup at the onset of COVID in 2020 in Lagos. So we're building an application it's a gifting platform. It's something really unique, in its own way. So, but the product was owned by a director in GT Bank at the time, and it wasn't very successful, to be honest. So that was between early 2020 and 2022. So I felt it's time to move. Then I came to do my master's degree here in the UK, in cybersecurity, obviously. After that, while I was in school, I got an offer to work with an Aberdeen-based oil drilling company, KCA Deutag. You might know them, they are up in Port Lethen here. So working with KCA Deutag, I worked with KCA Deutag for 18 months, I guess. It's actually a big company because some of the people, they provide services to some of the biggest, Saudi Aramco, BP and all that. So I got firsthand experience in proper cybersecurity in a proper structured company. While I was in Lagos, I started doing a bit here and there with smaller startups. But here, it's kind of, as Jerry said, I want to borrow his term, opportunity and timing, right? So everything kind of aligned for me at the time. So I got lucky. I worked with a great team at KCA Deutag for 18 months. Then I got a new offer to step up, from being a cybersecurity engineer to being a level 2 analyst with the current company I work for. And the company I work for, it's a US corporation owning several companies across the place. So I look after the cybersecurity for our UK and European-based businesses. So in a nutshell, what got me into this, first of all, I would say it's circumstance, family. right? It's not like when I was a child, I wanted to be an industrial chemist, chemist or nuclear scientist. All these kind of crazy things were in my head. But I am someone that kind of explores, searches what's going on. Where can I learn from? Yeah, so that's it. Is there a second part to the question? Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, so yeah, so for me, it started when I was in uni. I studied computer science and bachelor's degree. So obviously we have assignments, and I was just sort of like wonder how people sort of like did their own assignment. How did you write this? What language did you use to write this code? So that was where it all started from. I didn't even know it was like a lucrative field. People could make a living off it, or people could even like make money off it at the time. So I just sort of like used to go along with my friends. We're going to go and do coding. Yeah, let me follow you people. Let's go. So that was how it just started. And by the time I got to 300 level, I had started contracting gigs for maybe people in other schools wanting to build their maybe final year projects. So I was getting paid like 30 grand. This one is big money. Oh. How much is my monthly stipend that I'm collecting 30K? So went on ahead, and yeah, went out of school. So that was when I literally made up my mind to say I was going to just do this thing full time, Jerry. So started learning on Free Code Camp as a self-taught. I got my first gig as a software engineer. Then I was getting paid like 50K every month at the time. So it was quite fun, and I was looking like, okay, so this thing is actually real, and people will pay me. So so they started paying at the time. So just started learning every bit and bobs, asking dummy questions, and so it became real, because at the time I knew the value of maybe writing bugs. Because when you just write bugs like this, maybe you didn't write it very well, didn't think of edge cases, people will just start screaming at you, oh, we cannot pay school fees anymore, we cannot generate our transcript, we cannot register for course, and everybody's looking like, who wrote this code? Is the one. So I learned the value of, oh, like you have to like be conscious when you're writing. You're dealing with people's money. You're dealing with people's life. Well, I registered for this course. I cannot sit for the exams. What's going on? Like all those sort of things. So like that value became like a thing, and I was like, okay, fine. So then I moved on in 2020. COVID happened. I joined Seamless HR at the time. So it even became more intense, because at the time we were not like running payroll. So we wanted to like build out a microservice to run payroll to service companies, businesses in Africa, in Nigeria. So it became a really big thing. So joined like maybe 40 employees then. So did 3 years. Between those 3 years, I was obviously doing other things, speaking at conferences, doing other bit and bobs, writing. So just for my learnings from what I've picked up in the job, that was also where I met Eniola as well, Christiana. So she was our QA. She was working in our team. She was obviously testing the bugs we were about to push. So the bugs we are about to push. So the ones Eniola could or Christiana could help us catch, she would report it and say, this thing has broken. No, Saturday, Sunday, we're just out there grinding. So yeah, it was quite fun. So then I eventually like head of global talent. I applied, I got accepted. Then that was how I moved down into the UK. So I joined Tilo. So Tilo is also like it's a gift card and reward incentive platform. So you are buying digital gift card maybe on Deliveroo. You want to use it to purchase stuff online. So the whole redemption process, identifying you as the owner of the gift card, then redeeming your vouchers, and so those kind of engines is what we do. So it's quite big. I mean, while I was in Nigeria, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, what is gift card? Who purchases gift card? But seeing we are able to process over £1 billion in a year. In the UK, we have over 4,000 brands on our system. So it's like, so it's just like from not knowing how you are able to do things to like managing people's money, businesses. Amazon don't want to hear, their money is not complete. Google does not want to hear stories. So working with these large companies from just learning for fun has sort of been the journey for me. And yeah, so that is just it.
I have a mic. Okay. Um, so for me, it started out in customer service. I okay, how did I even land in customer service? I'll just say it's opportunity also, and I personally was tired. At the time, I was out of school, got a job to work as it was supposed to be a PA to an event coordinator, suppose. And I was doing many other things, and it wasn't, I would say, it wasn't a great environment. So I just got frustrated one day and applied for any role, anything that would take me out of that hostile environment. And unfortunately for me, I landed a support analyst role for it's an IT company, but it has different business units in it. So one company, but there's an ed tech arm, there's a fintech arm, there's a power tech arm. They also had social impacts, an arm that was for that. So I was supporting these different business units. So you were surrounded by developers, you were surrounded by PMs, you were surrounded by the tech ecosystem, right? And for me, I worked in that capacity for some years and got tired again. I think someone mentioned, okay, I think it was Malik who mentioned he got tired or bored of doing one thing and moved on. And it seemed like that was the case for me. So I did support. Udema was the go-to person if you had bad news to tell the customer. They push it to Udeme too because she has the guts to do it. Or if there's one high-rate customer that is always screaming, transfer the call to them. Like, so I got tired of having to do that routine and thought I'm surrounded by, I look here, I see development teams, I look there, I'm surrounded by this, right? So what, what's the next challenge for me? And that was when I started picked up CSS here, picked up HTML. I remember then one of the co-founders walked past one day when I was learning, and he came back and said, "What are you doing?" Because I'm obviously a support person, right? So, and I said, "I'm just learning. I'm just trying to learn, trying to spend my time." And he said, "Oh, that's good. Keep it up." And yeah, that was how I kept on learning, being curious. And there was a particular issue that happened when I was supporting the EdTech arm. And at the time, it was just that student that had that issue. So I thought, why? I tried to replicate it on my end with all optimal conditions, and I wasn't getting it. Tried other people's system, used different devices, used different internet sources, tried to replicate the issue. So I got on a call with the customer and just to try to understand what the conditions on the customer's end was so I could see if I could replicate it. My job was just to get the issues escalate, right? But I was very interested in that particular issue. So I did some findings, modified some scenarios, and that was how I was able to replicate it. So then I would log it on Jira as always, and I logged the issue, but created the steps, the specific steps to recreate the issue because it wasn't something they would be able to get if they just tried the normal way. So the QA then came to ask, when she got to the ticket, came to ask me, how did you replicate this issue? So I told her, you have to do this, this, this for you to see the issue. She said, oh, wow, you've helped me do my job. Have you considered switching to customer service? And at the time, I'd been learning a ton of things. So you know the way the internet has everything. And you're lost navigating through. And I just said, what's customer service? And that was essentially where I picked it up. They first slammed me with, I met the then head of QA, and she said, oh, okay, go to Guru 99. And you know Guru 99 has an endless stream of hyperlinks. As you click this, it takes you here. You click this, it takes you somewhere else. And you're in a maze before you know. And I felt overwhelmed at that time, but I continued with that, and there was an internal opening in the company then for a QA role, and I told them that I would do the test. I've been learning. I want to do this. I took a pay cut. I took a demo because then I was head of customer service. I was willing to be demoted. I just wanted to try something more technical. When I was asked, I said, I don't want to be don't want to be the person you come to when the customer has the issue. I want to be part of the team that prevents the customer from having that issue. And that was essentially how I started with customers with quality assurance.
That's actually really nice. Okay, thank you very much. I think one of the things, the common thread that I've seen in the story here is opportunity and curiosity, and then willingness to learn. Everybody, at one point or the other, there was an opportunity for you to learn something new or get into a new environment, and then you were curious enough to ask, how is this happening? And then you really committed to learning. So thank you very much for that insightful, moment into your journey so far. So the next question will be this: for those that are considering a switch into tech right now, what advice would you give them on how to start, especially with AI reshaping the field? So anybody who wants to take that? Anyone that wants to switch into tech right now? I mean, I think I'll ask Malik, pass to tech. So what would you tell someone that's trying to switch now, considering that AI is already, doing a lot of things?
Um, at at Part to Tech, we started to we started our process by doing webinars to inform candidates, people that want to join tech, about what they would need to know before they join. But specifically, we made it in such a way that every professional coming on would explain how to do it using AI. Because to be honest, in my own role right now, sometimes some companies don't need junior developers. You have AI to do that for you. Like sometimes in companies like GT Bank, before, like currently, I have some friends there that if I ask them what they do, you'd see that they do specific things. Maybe if within the mobile app you have somebody working on receipts, somebody working on transfers, somebody working on settings. So you'd see that because the company is very big, they have single tasks to do, when you now have AI that can actually do some of those things for you. So for software developers that want to join, to break into that role, you actually have to be able to do a lot of things. If you're into software engineering, like Larry, you have to be a full stack software engineer. You have to add more value than before. So if you're learning, then you should focus on learning the front end and the back end. But while learning, you can also use AI to do it. Because immediately I changed my location to UK, I started getting roles that are not front end anymore. They are called AI front end or AI full stack software engineer. So you actually have to know how to use those AI tools, know how to use those APIs, how to embed them within the app. So for anybody trying to break into this particular sector of tech, the software engineering, you have to know how to use AI to do it. So that would also entail using AI to learn. It's easy. There are a lot of tools that you can use to, as you mentioned, you were trying to do something, you asked AI a roadmap to do it. There are so many apps that you can use, and then they'll give you roadmaps and also AI tools that you can use to learn specific things. So you use AI to learn, but also don't learn just a particular sector like front end. Learn everything, because that's what will make you marketable, because AI can do the minimal things that other people are doing. Yeah, so in short, that's basically it.
Maybe I should go then.
Okay, it's on. Okay, sorry. Just a quick one. The question again is for people who are trying to switch to tech, right? Just as he said, I think maybe people could be in two different categories. Switching means you've already had a career, right? So for me in cybersecurity, if you're trying to switch to cybersecurity, for instance, from any different sector, whatever it is, you need to understand the fundamentals, right? That fundamentals is because it's no longer, as he said, it's no longer a situation, just like, sorry, the keynote speaker said earlier on, the surface knowledge is no longer enough to get you through the door, right? So you need to really have a deep understanding of the fundamentals. And with AI in play at the moment, you need to equip yourself with how does AI improve my productivity or make me better at doing this. You get what I mean? So if you're trying to switch to a role, let's say you're getting ready for an interview or whatever it is, you should be able to showcase your understanding of the fundamentals and how you can utilize AI to even do it a lot better. right? So the employers, as she said, are looking for those who can do the basics and more. So switching to cybersecurity, try and get the fundamentals, networking, have an understanding of computer networking, computer programming. You don't have to be a hands-on developer, but you need to understand how computer communicates. You need to understand what program is, how it functions, right? So have these basics, then improve yourself by understanding how AI helps you to do this job you're applying for better. And for people who are just starting out, let's say college graduates or those who are still in colleges, right? Looking forward to building a career in cybersecurity. Do not limit yourself to I'm coding I'm a web developer, I'm doing PHP, I'm doing SQL, whatever it is. Don't limit yourself to that. Try and have a good understanding of the basics, on the fundamentals across board. Computer networking, you don't have to be a proper Cisco certified engineer, but have an understanding of how things work. Because apart from getting you through the door, these are the things that will keep you in the job. Because you'll be faced with tasks that require you to bring out a knowledge that you know, in order to something you know, an experience, a knowledge that will enable you to attend to tasks. So that's how I will answer that question.
Okay, this is working now. Yeah, so I like to approach it a little different because my industry is quite nuanced. So for people who are starting out as designers in the AI world now, there's an illustration that always comes to my mind when I think about AI and how it impacts the world, the work that we do now. And it's, I think the quote is from Henry Ford. That's the guy that created the cars the way we use them now. And he said something. He said that if he had asked people at the time what they wanted, they would have said they want faster horses. And I think that's like the same way I think about AI. People think that the thing that I do, I I really don't need to do them. I need to do them more than I was doing them before, and not use the tool of today, which is AI. So the fundamentals are the same. Um, a horse runs the same way as a car, but then it's a lot quite different, and that's the thing that AI does for the work that we do now. The fundamentals still remain the same. AI is just a layer on top of the thing that we do, and I think that's the healthy way to approach AI in the work environment. Um, and particularly in the field where I am, there's something we call AI hallucinations, and that's when AI pretty much just messes up the work that you do. So there's still a lot of centeredness around design, particularly. Yeah, and I remember we're working on a brief for a client out of Japan, and because we're English, I work with an English firm. We didn't have like context about things that are offensive in Japan, and AI couldn't catch that too. And that's because humans at the bottom of it all are still humans, and AI cannot do everything. So I think the healthy way for people to get into design is to understand the fundamentals. So what are the principles? What are the things that have been tested for thousands of years and actually work, and then layer AI on top of that? So the work that we do, AI is just a tool. It doesn't replace our creativity. So we do like workshops for clients, and that's the part where we use AI a lot. So for workshopping, you are able to go back to AI, and there's a tool we use that is called Granola. So it takes notes and it kind of gives you context. There are some things that you go back home, you don't realize are very important to the brief that you're working on, and AI is able to clarify that for you. And also, when you're done with your work, you're able to cross-check with the notes that you took with AI. So I think that's the way that AI works in my industry, because it's very nuanced. It's not like other people here, where there's still a lot of people like what they like. That's the thing with design. So people like what they like, and AI does not have consciousness to know what people like. So at the end of the day, it's left to you to now take whatever insight you get from AI and translate that to what people actually want, and what will make their businesses succeed. So for anyone coming to design, I'd say learn the fundamentals. Don't start with AI. So that's the point. That I've said all of that to say learn the fundamentals first. The fundamentals are still the fundamentals, and then layer AI on top of it. So it's not like other industries where it's AI first and every other thing second. It's fundamentals first and AI second. Yeah.
Anybody else want to go on that? Okay, all right. Thank you very much, guys. That was quite insightful. So fundamentals, I think that's actually what almost everyone said. There's the fundamental principles that you cannot do without. So you have to first learn that and then incorporate AI as you go along in that journey. All right, so the next question here is, has AI made your job easier or more challenging? I think I'll ask you them that. So has it made your work as a software engineer, software tester rather, has it made it easier for you or is it more challenging? And if you have practical experiences on how it has either been good or bad, you can also share that with us.
All right, thanks. I would say it's a mix, but if you were to place it on a scale, it would have its upside, so it's more beneficial, right? And why? Because of speed. So the time it will take you to craft, our daily, yes, test cases, edge cases, and all. On the flip side, I feel, especially since we're talking in the context of new people who are just transitioning, people who are new into it, right? Getting overly dependent on AI kind of, permit me to say, kill your brain cells a bit. It deadens it to an extent because, and if you don't know the basics, right? If you don't have the foundation and you want to use AI to build something, it's not beneficial in that instance because one, you don't have the depth to be able to critique the output that your AI tool is feeding you. So you can't say, no, this is wrong. You can't identify a hallucination, for example, because you don't have that depth of knowledge. So I feel for newbies, AI is great, but it doesn't replace you having the basic understanding and especially aiming to build on that understanding, right? So yes, AI improves polishes our outputs, helps us checks. It's like you are writing a letter now, right? There is no reason why you should have grammatical errors in 2025 when you're writing anything, right? Because there are tools out there that can check that. Yeah, so it polishes your output but does not replace your knowledge, right? You still should go for getting that knowledge and being grounded enough in that knowledge so that you can spot and our job as testers is to critically analyze, right? AI cannot do that for you. Even if you write in the prompt, critically analyze this. There are aspects, I think, I can't quite remember who mentioned it, but there are different, okay, I think it was Jerry who mentioned it. There are different aspects that AI does not have access to. Go and ask AI questions in certain regions. North Korea, for example, you hear the response. I am unable to provide data for so places because they don't have access to that information. So AI itself is limited, right? It's a great tool, but it does not replace your learning or your knowledge. It helps improve on what you know. So for me, I would say as testers, see AI as your co-tester, as your body, that the way you peer review and peer program, you can use AI to amplify what you know. But if you don't know anything, right, it will feed you garbage. You will project the garbage. It will take some time before people call you and say, this is garbage. People who have that skill that you didn't take time to develop will call you and say, that thing you posted is actually rubbish, right? And underline the areas where so you need, as we herald AI as being great, right? It does not replace knowledge. It doesn't replace you taking time for. I hear the common thing in all the stories we said. It doesn't replace your curiosity. It does not replace your drive to learn. It does not replace your learning and development plan. You have to have that plan, right? AI can help guide, but if you don't have that plan, AI will not tell you what you should aim in the next 3 years to become. It still takes self-reflection. It still takes you identifying your strengths, your weaknesses. It still takes you doing some of the traditional things. Ask people you've worked in the past 3 years, what do you think are areas I'm great at? Right? AI does not know you from 3 years back, right? It can't process that data for you. So there's still the traditional things that you need to do. You're a human, right? And so you need to be responsible also for your growth. So AI has its many advantages. Um, See it as you're great plus a greater tool that's equal to excellence. So AI does not automatically make you excellent. It's your utilization of it and how you're able to apply what you know to it that makes you excellent and exceptional.
So yeah, thank you to you, D. So for me, let me speak from a software engineer perspective. I have been using AI since it first came out. Again, it was first like curiosity that drove me into it to look like, okay, I mean, what is MCP, model context protocol? How do I integrate it into my day-to-day role? I went on YouTube, looked for a crash course on Cursor, and I was looking like, okay, what's Cursor? Then I just like watched people use it on live, how to like set it up. Okay, this is how to set it up. What are agents? Just those basic foundational knowledge. Then what are the available agents in Cursor, for instance? We have ChatGPT. We have a couple of all those fantastic agents that these companies are building. So that was where it first started. And luckily, my company also like now got the permission to say you people are free to onboard and start using Cursor. So that was like, so I first started from curiosity first, and then so now finally getting the approval. So then how it started driving my own productivity at work. So take for instance, the code base is like maybe 8 year old, and then somebody's reporting a bug. 8 year old code base, I don't even know where to even start from. I don't even know where to even start. People that even like wrote some part of the code, they've left. They've like, so first things I would just like grab those instructions. I can just dump it into Cursor to look like, okay, this is what is going on. Can you just point me to the file where I might be looking at? So that has actually like narrowed my efforts from like 100 to like 50 without even like doing much. So what is now left for me is now like go into that file, then start reading to analyze it. So it can even tell you that, oh, do you want me to help you fix this bug? I would just be like, okay, go and fix it and let me see what you want to actually want to go and fix. So it might propose a fix, then I will look like, okay, no, this code can be a lot better. Like, why are you writing 10 lines of code when you can just make it 2 lines of code? Do you get? So I have the foundational knowledge, but I don't now need like a personal maybe manager to look like, oh, this is where you want to go and fix it. Then I can just get the PR out in like a couple of minutes. So that has actually helped my productivity. I don't need to like think I like lots more. So also in my day-to-day work, I'm back-end heavy. So there are tasks that involve front-end. So it's been a while I wrote front-end, obviously. So I can just tell it, oh, make a representation of this particular thing of how I want this input field to look like, or just a basic design. Then AI would just go in there, make those designs. Then I would go there, review the lines of code one after the other. It also like adds weird comments, like, oh, this is how to do this. I don't need comments. So I'll go there, like remove the comments, make edits, and just before you know it, the code is looking fresh and live. So it has been like a productivity hack for people who know how to use it. And I was even surprised when my manager at work said, "Yeah, the person that used this AI the most in this company." Little did I know that they had like a dashboard where they were tracking usage, and it was asking that, "Oh, do you ever run out of the usage?" I said no, and I use it like heavily. So like even things I'm curious about, I can use it to like write RFCs to be like, "Oh, this is what we want to build next. This is a feature. Can you just write an RFC for me?" Then it writes it in like a README file. Then I can modify those README files. Then I can share it with my colleagues to look like, okay, this is a README file of this particular feature we want to work on. Do you have any feedback around it? Then people getting their feedback, and then it just like makes like life easy. So for people who are looking at maybe AI tools to use, like Cursor is highly recommended. A lot of people also use what's it called now? Copilot, Cloud Code. So these are like productivity hacks. And also when we like make PRs, there are like AI tools like Typo AI that can like review your code before even engineers review it. So that is also good because maybe codes that even you yourself or your personal code Cursor could not catch, then during review, these new AI tools can also like be able to scan your code you've written, tell you if they are vulnerable, and then they can propose fix. So you can look at that fix. Is it sensible? Yes. Then you fix it. Then you update the pull request for other engineers to use. So yeah, that has been my good experience with using it.
Yeah, permit me to just add a bit. I don't know if I think being in cybersecurity, not belittling every other aspect of what we're doing, AI it's a lot more consequential in cybersecurity because almost what everybody here does, if we don't protect the AI itself, you get what I mean. The outcome may be disastrous depending on the context. For instance, for the developers here, if you're building a system that controls the railway system in the UK, if that system is, let's say you have an AI tool that helps people do that, right? If that AI tool is susceptible to what we call prompt injection, right? Someone somewhere who manages to break into that AI could give it prompts to derail trains. So it's a lot more consequential to us in that context. So why I didn't want to repeat what they've, because from what I understood from what they've said, the advantage of effectiveness and efficiency and time, reducing the time it takes to produce output. That's exactly the same thing in cybersecurity. So I'm not going to talk about that. But I want to talk about AI being, you say, the question is it, how has it affected, has it helped good or in a bad way? For us, yes, for both. Because the people who call the bad actors, that's the cyber adversaries, they also use AI. So cyber attacks has become a lot faster, a lot more potent. I'll give you a very simple example. Most of us work in different companies. You receive maybe phishing emails. Most of the old tools, email security tools you know about, will fall to some of the advanced phishing emails that are crafted with AI tools. So have advanced phishing emails like SMS you get. You could get an SMS, a message that comes from a number you know, from a name you know, with a profile picture of someone you know. But I can tell you that that SMS is fraudulent. It's not genuine. So AI has kind of made these kind of attack vectors more potent, more difficult for the traditional way we used to defend against them. So as a defender, it has made our job more difficult, more concerning, because you can't make a decision and be 100%, I'm certain this is false positive, this is not a threat. You get what I mean? Then on the other side, it has also improved our productivity. That's if we use it. Now, there are a lot of AI tools out there, but the advantage we're having now is that most of some of the biggest security tools out there are now incorporating very targeted AI tools in their suites that enables you to do your job better. In the past I've used Sentinel-1. I use CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is probably the biggest in the world at the moment. They have a tool in their suite called Charlotte AI. So it can do the job of an analyst. It can do almost everything I want it to do, everything I do, if I instruct it to do it, right? In Sentinel-1 is another tool. They have an AI tool called Purple AI. So I could ask Purple AI, check within, let's say we work with BP, for instance, check within the entire network. I want to see anyone who, let's say there's someone received an email with a phishing link in it, a suspicious link. Let's say the email was crafted in a way that it passed through all our security tools and people clicked on it. In the past, as an analyst, I need to manually go look for track who and who clicked on it. So I could ask the AI to show me everybody in the company who clicked on this link in the last number of days or whatever. So it's made my job easier in that regard. It also helps us to track some more advanced attacks and advice on the things to do to remediate them. So, in essence, it's knowing how to use these AI tools, right, makes you a better analyst. At a conference in Barcelona within the week, the founder of CrowdStrike made said a comment that I took personally, I love it. He said, AI is not going to replace the analyst. AI will elevate the analyst. I'm just going to, I don't know, I think this might also answer some of the questions. Just let me give one example. The automobile industry at the moment have different levels of automation. We now have complete self-driving cars, like what's the name in the US? Omeo or something. I've forgotten the name of that company. Yeah, it's the Tesla doesn't have the full automation yet. So okay, they have some now. So in the past, they used to have engineers at their control centers that look at maybe an engineer assigned to a particular car. So if that car, for instance, if a self-driving car gets stuck in a construction zone, the self-driving car wasn't taught to know what beacons, those beacons they mount around, so you might be confused. So in the past, you could have an engineer or someone at a control center assigned to each car that whenever this car is stuck, find a way to. But now, one analyst, one engineer can control like a fleet of cars because they don't get into such issues often. It might look like it's reducing the number of opportunities, but the reality is that those who know how to use these tools better are presented with a kind of a more elevated responsibility. So it has affected cybersecurity both negatively and positively. Those who know how to best take advantage of the positive aspects of it stand a better chance of getting opportunities and being in roles that are rewarding.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I just wanted to quickly speak to a negative of AI for machine learning, and that's the fact that at least prior to 2022, I would say machine learning was more sort of architecture heavy. So if you have a new problem, you're sort of designing a new model, like trying different layers and stuff like that. But nowadays, the first thing that you probably do as a machine learning engineer is to chuck your input into ChatGPT to get an input, like use an API to get you some of the way there. And most of the time, because of how good these models are, like that's enough. Like you don't need to innovate beyond calling an API to do the work for you. And I feel like that takes away a bit of the excitement of being a machine learning engineer. But on the flip side, I've enjoyed the positives of using AI. So personally, I use GitHub Copilot when I'm coding, and that, again, as everyone has said, makes me much faster and productive.
Thank you very much. So my next questions will focus on visibility and networking and career mobility. I think that's one of the things that some of us are dealing with here. In the UK, for example, I mean, people don't know what you've done in Nigeria. You've done like 5 years experience, then you're like, duh, I don't know what you've done. So I would just like to ask, maybe one or two people can answer. Visibility matters a lot in tech. We all know that. Now, how can professionals showcase their skills or projects effectively, especially online? I think I'd like Larry to answer because I know that I mean, look at you giving talks in Italy and whatnot. So how can one position themselves to be visible to the global space, to the global audience? Just tell us, what can we do?
Yeah, thank you. So from one of the speakers that gave the keynote, she was talking about putting yourself out there, treating yourself like a brand, which I totally agree with. Because when I also first started out, I didn't even know there's such thing as maybe visibility. So maybe on weekends, I'm always indoors. I'm more of an introvert. So I'll just be indoors. Oh, what can I do? I'm writing. What can I do? I'm applying to speak at conferences. What can I do? Just like posting random thoughts on LinkedIn that people are finding useful. So that was the sort of thing that started out for me. And then each time I do one of those things, event organizers, maybe conferences, putting out CFPs, call for papers, they will look like, oh, we're interested in you coming to give out talks and all that. So that was how we started off. So, I mean, getting accepted to GitHub to speak at GitHub conference, it was something huge. I didn't know that was even like a thing. So then getting accepted again to speak at the largest API conference in the world, API World in 2020 again was, okay, this is really big for me. seeing like you are speaking alongside engineering managers, CTOs, CEOs at such kind of high impact conference. So that is how we started off. So being curious, wanting to share your knowledge, and from those little steps, I eventually got to know of Global Talent as well. So everything I've been doing, from writing, speaking, putting myself there, treating myself like a personal brand, now like added up to say, oh, these are some of the requirements for you to apply to this kind of program. Then that was how I got accepted, from just like treating myself as a personal brand. And that is also what I am still like looking at doing, and I'm still like currently working on organizing like API conference in Nigeria as well, which is like the largest API conference in Africa. This year we had like over 700 attendees come around, speakers from India, France. It's a global thing now. Again, it started off from just like how do we want people to like learn, engage, like people who are also like curious about putting their brand out there. How can we help them position themselves for that market value, bringing businesses together in the same room, talking about the future of AI across Africa, APIs as well, and those sort of things. So that is how it has been for me, and that is how yeah, that is the trajectory. I don't know if anyone.
Um, permit me. I like talking about stuff I love, right? Visibility. I think I probably have lived it, right? I've been a beneficiary of being visible with what you do, but I will have to. I would like to add a caveat to that. Don't be visible with mediocrity. I hope that doesn't come out negatively. So try to have content. You know, the keynote speaker, if you remember one of the examples she gave, if someone says, oh, I know this person, I had a chat with him or her, and he spoke really nice, he spoke really well. It means that person saw you as someone that has content. So visibility shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be getting the content first, and then leveraging on whatever opportunity you have. You know, when we talk about visibility, sometimes people think it's, as he gave an example, he's making, he's appearing as a speaker at big conferences. He didn't start from there. He started from, building the content, having one-on-one chats with people here and there. So it helps you, but look at it from the opposite direction. That means developing what you want to give first. Definitely, you will see channels to give out this content. And from there, people are going to recommend you for even bigger things. And by the time and for those who already have the content, which a lot of people do not think yourself unworthy to talk. Be confident. Speak with people. Approach event planners, to ask if you can participate in certain events in your field, and follow people, or follow other people who are also taking that same pathway, and learn from them. By so doing, definitely someone out there who needs the kind of value you have will reach out to you. It might take long. It might be, for some people, it might come very quick. For some other people, it might take longer. So visibility, networking is very important, but it's more important to have the content. So by the time you have the opportunity for this networking, you're giving the platform, the value will be seen by your audience. You wouldn't be someone who feels like, who people think you're just there, just for being their sake. But people will value your being out there. People will know that this person has stuff to offer. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else want to add something to it.
Yeah, Eniola asked me if I would say something, and I said I'm probably the worst guy to ask because I'm hardly on LinkedIn. And the only time I go on LinkedIn is because we've got like a Slack channel, and then they send us messages and say, guys, could you please engage with our post on LinkedIn? That's the only time I go on LinkedIn. So I think I'm the wrong person to talk about things that I'm not doing content-wise. But I think what has worked for me is to be a sociable person. And I think this is also going to be anti-cultural. Culturally, we are not brought up to do small talks, to to be interested in the things that we are not interested in our community. So, and that's one thing that I've learned with working with people from all around the world. You have to be genuinely interested in people. Yeah, fine. I know you're trying to get a job, but people are still people. You need to show interest in them and just learn the art of small talks, particularly in the Western world. It's very, very important. And was in America a couple of months ago and was talking with Americans, and um, culturally, what is important to them is different from what is important to the British. So if you go to New York and you're talking about Premier League, you are just losing people. So you have to know what to talk to people about the culture. Americans are very, very, very technology oriented. So they like talking about technology. They like talking about stock markets and yeah. So that's the thing. So I think yeah, being genuinely interested in people, what they like, is what works for me. And with my CEO is British here in the UK, I noticed that when we're hiring people, the second thing we look out for, aside from the skill that they have, is cultural fit. How do you engage with people? Like, I've spoken with a couple of guys that are in some part of Europe that are not as I'm sure you know the kind of people. Yeah, they are not as social as us over here, and that's the only reason we didn't hire them, because they would not be a cultural fit, even though they are very qualified to do the role. And that's very important for people in this part of the world. Where we come from, it's not a massive weight shifter, but here it's extremely important to be that kind of person. And I'm not saying fake it till you make it, because the truth is you might actually enjoy some of these things. So I've been reading a lot about different things that I would normally not read about, but because of the kind of people I work with, the kind of movies they watch, the kind of things they talk, and these things are actually good. So for me, I would say, yeah, being very social and learning the art of small talks.
Thank you very much. So my next question would be, as we're rounding up, for those that are applying for jobs in the UK, what do they need to know about standing out to employers or recruiters? I know you've done a few work with employers here in the UK. So how do you stand out with your recruiter? I think Jerry already mentioned that cultural fit, but what are the other things you think?
I mean, for me, my experience, I wouldn't really say I did anything specifically aside just, I guess, giving every application my all. So similar to what Adeshola was saying in her keynote, basically treating every application as its own thing and not just maybe throwing the same CV to every single employer. And with tech interviews, for example, I'm sure we're familiar with that here. There's coding challenges to prepare for. There's system design interviews. There's behavioral interviews that I need to prepare for as well. And so putting in the effort to sort of get ready and prepare for those things, I think is very, very useful. And just thinking back, I think that's what's helped me so far with all my applications.
Yeah, so I think it also applies to almost all the different fields we are in. Keeping a track record of what you've done, building a portfolio, it's indispensable. You know, because the employer or the interviewer may not be able to break into your head to understand what you've done, and the schedule of the interview might not be long enough for you to say everything. Having a reference point, GitHub, for me, is a good mind for anybody who is in tech. The platform GitHub enables you to kind of build portfolios, keep track of what you've done, right? Then take advantage of platforms that, speaking now specifically for people in cybersecurity, platforms that helps you to showcase your skill. You get what I mean? So there's a platform called Hack the Box. Hack the Box. We have Try Hack Me. We have loads of them. Hack the Box. There are a lot of employers that want to see what rank you are on Hack the Box. You'll be shocked. When I joined my current employer, exactly 1 year ago in November, last year, I was told that I had a 1 year target of becoming, getting the hacker rank on Hack the Box. At the time I was already doing bug bounty hunting, doing hacking on, but not getting professional, kind of recognition. I was able to do that in I think 3 months or so. So that kind of reference point helps you to tell the potential employer, this is what I've done over time. I've taken part in this catch the flag competition and challenges. I've done this, you can't just say I've done this without having to say this is where you can confirm it. So keeping track of what you've done, building your portfolio is really very, very important.
I agree with what Anya just said. To be honest, when I tell people I have like maybe 8 years experience and I still have a one-page CV, they sometimes just laugh like, how are you using one-page CV for over 8 years of experience? But again, it's about like your portfolio that really matters. For instance, I write technical article on Free Code Camp. I have a link there. So if you're interested in some of my writings, just click on that link. Then you can see my profile, list of articles I've written. I contribute to open source projects. I'll put links of those open source projects there. You just click on it. You know this person like contributes to open source projects like they have said. Stack Overflow as well. You can see some of the questions on how I engage and help people understand and crack their challenges on Stack Overflow as well. There's a link to that as well on my CV. Link to like some conferences I've spoken at. It's either on YouTube, it's either maybe like the flyer or the website. You can just click it and then you have a reference point to that. As well on your CV as well, I expect to see your current role, some of the things you do in brief, and also like specific targets, like metrics, or you help with maybe de-escalating issues, maybe 10x faster. You helped with doing this. Like metrics is also something that is quite missing on a couple of people's what's it called now on CV. That actually does make you stand out because not everybody is going to like put maybe like a Grammarly sort of summary on their CV. So if you're standing out with metrics, if you're standing out with data or reference point on your CV, that will help you stand out. So you might see maybe 100 jobs or 100 people apply on LinkedIn, then you are like also applying and you are getting a recruiter call. That's because some of these things they are looking out for also aligns. And also, I also encourage that you have maybe like multiple CVs if you're kind of person that apply to multiple sort of jobs. So for me, I have like a back-end CV that I just use to like apply to back-end jobs. If I'm looking at full stack roles as well, I also have a CV for that. So I don't like model things up. And prior to also applying, I will just go to the job descriptions, look at some of the skills that's mentioning, and then you can either add or subtract from your CV. So those are some of the things that a lot of people don't sometimes pay attention to. And also, like the previous recruiter also said, like cover letter is also somewhere you want to like target and explain some of all these things. In your cover letter, I'm also expecting to see like some of your strengths. What are you like exceptionally good at? If you are maybe good at writing, mentoring others, peer programming, I want to see all those sort of things mentioned because in my previous role, I've helped like hire people in my engineering team as well. So I look out for some of all these things myself to be like, okay, I think I would like to work with this person on our team because if you are like successful or if you have done something like reasonable, I expect to see all those things, even if they are not on your CV, like mention them on your covering letters. And yeah, that is how I approach it.
All right, so I think we're just going to do a quick fire round now where we just round off the question. So, what's one AI or AI app or tool that you can't live without right now, Jerry? I think you got mic there.
Which one?
It's
I'd
sure.
say the AI feature in Figma.
AI feature in Figma.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Malik, AI tool you can do without right now.
There's one called HTML to design. Sorry, design to HTML, something like that.
Why are you guys speaking things that people don't even know about?
No, so it's a tool it's a plugin on Figma that if you have a Figma design, you just use it, take whatever part you want, assign the plugin to do the code, and then to do it in any language you want, either
Wow.
Angular, React, anything.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it helps you be broad. So if you're writing a code in React or in Angular, you can always still
Convert it to something else. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
For me, it's my Copilot extension on my VS Code. Basically, have direct access to Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it is, to ideate on code.
Okay.
So,
All right.
On a general scale, I would say co-pilots. Though I have a specific AI that's probably a lot more impactful in specific things, inbuilt on tools like Charlotte, as I said. But Copilot because you need it for a lot of general things, every other thing you're doing. So Copilot for me.
Yeah, for me, I write a lot, so Grammarly comes in first. So I write a lot, write RFCs, technical guides, articles, readmes. So Grammarly is one app I always like subscribe to, and the other is like Cursor as well, just like Copilot, like just helps you like you can even like pull somebody's code and say do a peer review for me on this particular person's code. This is what they wrote. Can you confirm if there are bugs here that I might not be able to think of? So those sort of things is yeah why I like Cursor as well, like super productivity hack.
Next question is a myth about AI in your field that you like to debunk.
So for me, like the whole misconception of AI will take your job. To be honest, I don't see it coming to do like critical backend tasks or infrastructure build for me. Yeah, so it's not going to like be able to do that, and it is those who are failing to like leverage on using AI in their day-to-day jobs. So imagine a ticket, you are rolling it over for 3 weeks, and then I grab that same ticket and I'm able to do it in 1 week or in maybe 2 days, for instance. So those kind of person will be able to take your job because you are not leveraging on AI that could have helped you like increase your productivity, and that's what a lot of companies are paying for. They are willing to pay for tools that help you become more productive than like going to hire somebody that would like, eventually do the job. So if there's any tool that is on their radar that would improve productivity, they are willing to go all in for that. So yep.
Sorry, the question again.
An AI myth that's
Yeah, I would have said exactly what he said, but I don't want to repeat that. Actually, AI is not going to take anybody's. Yeah, there's a tendency, but the myth I would like to talk about would be the myth would be the AI apocalypse. People saying AI is going to destroy the world sometime. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen in a lifetime, and probably not in the because AIs are very different AI tools are very powerful tools, but we know where the source is, so we know what to unplug, and we know what we call like a power switch. You get what I mean? So for now, that still look far-fetched for me.
For me, what I had in mind was initially what Larry said, but just thinking about it a bit more, I think I hear a lot of people say that basically AI and LLMs, as we know them now, are the same thing, and they're absolutely not. LLMs are just a portion of AI, and there's like a vast field out there. So anyone that's trying to get into AI now, there's much more than LLMs to look at to learn how to get into ML. So.
Yeah, I think the most common myth is AI will take our jobs, and everybody has already addressed it. So, main thing is it won't take your job actually. It just make you more productive, to make you more visible, to make your work easy and more efficient. So, just use AI to scale up and be better at what you do.
Now I've got two mics. Yeah, so it's the same thing as everyone has said. AI is not taking people's job; it's just redefining our roles. Um, so I think people should just relax. Don't worry, you still get paid. So AI is not taking your job. Um, and particularly for my industry, AI is helping a lot with mundane tasks and allowing us focus on what really matters to us. So yeah, so AI is not taking our jobs. Um, it's helping us and also redefining the things that we do, and also and that's a trend that we've noticed in our sector. So people who are junior designers, they focus more on creativity and making things look good. But as you climb the career ladder in design, it's not so much what you can design, it's how your design translates into business solutions for your clients. So no one wants to see your design, they want to actually see the numbers. and AI is not going to do a lot of that one. So yeah, so relax, guys. We are safe.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much, everybody. I've personally learned a whole lot from the fact that you need to learn to take advantage of opportunities, to being curious enough to do a deep dive into whatever area you want, and don't just stay on one area. Yes, you can, drill down on one area, but try to know try to know something about everything. Yes, some fundamentals about almost everything, because you never know where things are coming out from. And AI is not here to take our jobs. Okay, even though that apocalypse part, I still feel like maybe it's nearer than you think. But hey, don't let me be a messenger of doom. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys online. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I know we had issues with the audio, but we apologize for that. Hopefully, the next one will be way better. So thank you to our panelists. Thank you so much for being here, Jerry, Malik, Paul, Henry, Larry. Udeme had to leave because of our train. Thank you so much, everybody. And guys, you can engage with us online if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to talk about. I'm sure they can connect with you guys on LinkedIn as well. Yeah, so you can check out their names on the flyer, and then you can check them all out on LinkedIn. I'm sure they would be able to accept your LinkedIn request and connect. Okay, so thank you, everybody. This brings us to the end of our event for today. We hope to see you another time. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye bye, everybody.